Hello. Today we're going to learn tea bag folding. Tea bag folding is not folding tea bags, you'll be glad to hear. So what you need to do, make yourself a cup of tea, put your tea bag in, chuck it away and use the packaging. Only actually that's not going to work. Tea bag folding is basically a form of origami. So what we're making today are these cards with some folded things on. Oh, all those are falling off because that's what I was going to show you later. This is what we're doing. Tea bag folding was originated in the 1990s, so apparently now it's retro, although that feels like yesterday to me. But it was in Holland. They had tea bags that came in perfect little square bags, and those perfect little square bags had these really nice packaging on them, and somebody decided to look at it and think that doesn't look like it should be thrown out, and transformed it into this type of origami. So it's not real origami, of course, it's paper folding because we're going to be using glue, but that's where it came from. You can, of course, find some of those fancy tea bags and use them. The other thing you can just use is any of your paper that you've been using, or wrapping paper or thin paper. You can print off tea bag folders from the internet, tea bag folding papers from the internet. You can also buy them, although actually at the moment it's a bit retro and they're harder to find. This is the kind of thing it looks like if it comes off the internet, which is actually what I'm going to use today. And they're like little tiles as they go along. And you would need to have them, but basically you're talking about folding squares. So you're talking about folding reasonably small squares. So the squares that I'm doing are 5 centimetres. Okay, so it's a 5 centimetre square with a small repeating pattern on it. And on the top down, you can look a bit more closely at the papers and see exactly what they are. So you are going to need a ruler or a 5 centimetre square to draw around, and you will need to be a little bit careful. You're going to need scissors, you're going to need glue, you're going to use some kind of fancy paper with a small repeating pattern on, and you're going to need cards to stick it on. And I'll see you on the other camera and I'll show you how to do 3 simple tea bag folds. Okay, so here are our tea bag folded cards closer up. So you get quite a nice sort of 3D look on it, or not, depending on which one you're going to do. So we're just going to have a look at the papers. There's often some floral ones, and as you know, I quite like the sort of floral look. But what you're looking at is this kind of thing where you have lots and lots of the same pattern repeated over and over again. Now these ones are already on squares, which makes it easier to cut out, but you can just measure it anyway. Okay, so you've got the same kind of thing. So the sort of thing I'm using today, just because I like it, is like this. Okay, these were printed off the internet, and you would be cutting out a little section of it that was 5 centimetres, repeating the pattern. They don't have to be floral. There's one in here, very sort of retro looking, that one, with its different colours and this kind of thing. So you can see that you could find wrapping paper with a small pattern. And if it's got squares on, so much the easier, because you can cut it out and find a perfect little thing like that, or however you want the pattern to look. So first easiest one is going to be this one, and that's what we're just going to have a look at now. Okay, I'm going to just pull that bit off because I just stuck that on to add the middle. You can see that you don't need to have anything in the middle like that. So what I've done is cut out my 5 centimetre square. So this is what that paper looked like, and I have carefully cut out a square that looks like that. What I did was I'm going to fold this in a minute into quarters. So I made sure that there were 2 squares, pink line, 2 squares, pink line, 2 squares, pink line. Same down the side. So this has made my pattern look perfect. But as long as it's a 5 centimetre square, that's all that's going to matter. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half. Now we've done quite a bit of folding recently where we folded it in half and then opened it, but this time it's going to stay folded. Okay, so I'm folding it in half like that. Oh, it's not going to stay folded for a minute. It'll be folded eventually, it will, but actually it's going to be, we're going to open it up. But we folded it that way and that way to start with. Okay, so that's what I've done. I'm just going to show you on this one where I have put a few pencil marks that we've gone that way and that way, and now we're going to go that way as well. Okay, So on the original one, we've done that, and now we're going to go the other way. That's very similar to what we did last week with the folding book, and that was deliberate so that you were ready for this one. Okay, so we've gone da, 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 and we've still got those two just like last week. Now, these two are the ones that are going to form the front that we've got here, this bit that we've got. So what we're going to do is bring this corner to this corner while folding up those two corners. Okay, can you see that like that? So as we fold it together, we're going to make that little square. And that is the one we did last week. So if you want some more detailed instructional folding there, go and have a look at the memory book one. So we've got this like this, and we've created this square which is open on one side, open here with its little flaps, and square like that. And simply we're going to stick these down together on top of each other, and that is all we've done for the simplest fold. I've just stuck it like that, moved one round and stuck it like that, moved it round and stuck it like that, and gone all the way around. Now when you're carefully cutting, you end up with all these little bits off the edge of the pattern. In the 90s, it was actually really sort of popular to over embellish, and then that became unpopular then afterwards. And because this is retro, we're gonna embrace that while giving it a modern twist. So you can use some embellishments to stick in the middle, and you can use some of your edges. If this was the 90s, it would have been stuck all the way around with loads of edges. If that's your style, you go for it. I've just simplified it a little bit here. So that's all they are. They're just stuck around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But just stick as many as you like. You're only sticking the back section. There's no glue on the inside, which gives it this sort of 3D look. And that's a really simple one. And perhaps if you were doing that with children, that might be a really good introduction to tea bag folding. So then we're going to have a look at one that's a little bit more complicated, that ends up with this nice little 3D. I'm just going to show you that we've got it all complicated like that. Now this time we're doing a similar fold to start, but then we're going to tuck it in as we go round, which is the next feature of tea bag folding. Okay, so I've got a different paper just so that you can see a different thing. So I've cut out this one, and I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the repeats of my pattern. Okay, and this time I'm going to be folding it into a little triangular shape, but we're going to start with the same fold. So we're folding it in half this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then the other way. So we've done the whole lot of folding that we can do. So we've gone, I'm going to hold it so you can see the folds. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I might just put a little pencil mark on there for you so that you can see you've got folds that way, that way, that way, and that way. Don't use a pencil. That was purely so that you could see it. Okay, and now we're going to do that folding again. So I'm pulling up this one that was already folded for you. So these two on here, which are the straight across folds, are going to come upwards, and everything else is going to go downwards. So I'm going to hold it like that and show you that we're ending up with a triangle. So that's what you need to do when you're thinking about it, the fact that you're doing that. So it's these ones that go across that are going to fold upwards, and everything else is going to fold downwards. So it's going to come up like that and then be pushed down like that. Now give it a little squash, making those good folds, and you've got something that will sit like that. Okay, so you can see if it was sitting on your table, it would look like that. And this is what you've got, a triangle. And then you need to make lots of triangles, okay, so that they're all sitting there like that together. Now, to put them together to make our card, really, tea bag folding is about infinite messing about, tucking these things in together so that they will end up looking like a different kind of rosette. So in this case, we are going to click them onto each other, sticking them onto each other on top. So you can see I've got one of the triangle ones there and I'm sticking it on top. So instead of going like that, which is just going to create, if I was to put 4 of those together, it would create a square. And that's fine, but less interesting. I'm going to get one of the cards to just stick it on so that you can see what I would be doing. So instead, and you should always assemble before you do any sticking. Instead, I'm going to stick one down like that when I'm going like that, and then I'm going to stick the next one like that. Okay, just do that again. So I've got that one pointing downwards, and then the 2 middles are still coming together, but it's not going right next to it. It's just going to overlap a little bit like that. And then the next one is going to overlap a little bit like that. And it's going to go round. I'm just going to stick them down. You should really assemble the whole thing and make sure you've got them, but that's quite a bit of holding that goes on. So you might actually want to start sticking down as you go. Let's break the rules. Okay. So then you're sticking it round like that. So the next one is going to come over there. Okay, so you're folding it across that middle section and go all the way round. And because we're only putting glue on the back section here, like we did on this one, where it was just on the back section, you're leaving it fluffing up like that. And you get that really nice 3D look by the time it's gone all the way round. If you think you're sticking up too much like that one, nip yourself a little bit of glue in there and pull it round. That will actually pull round when you stick the other one on top of it, but you can just put that together. Okay, that's number 2. Now we're going to look at number 3, which is another little fold that starts the same way. So this time I'm going to use non-floral paper. So we've got a stripe going on, but it's still 5 centimetres by 5 centimetres. And this is the little fold that we're going to make like that. So it actually starts the same as the one we did before. So we've got the same folds as we did on the other one where we've got it. Oh, I must have lost that one. Okay, so we've got that. So we're going to go fold across, fold across, fold across, fold across, just the same as before. And then we're going to fold it in to form that triangle. So it's exactly the same as last time when we've got the triangle. Only this time we're going to pull one of those down and one of those down like that. Can you see how I did that? Okay, just going to show you that again. So you started with the same triangle as last time. Flip back and remind yourself. So you've got a one like that. And then from the point, you're going to fold that one in and that one in. And now you have lots and lots of those, and we can put those together in lots of different ways. So as I say, you should really assemble it first, but I'm just going to do it so that you can see, so it's not too much of my hands in the way. So I'm going to tuck this one inside like that. So I'll just pull that a little bit closer so that you can see. Obviously, if you wanted to stick it next to it, that's fine. And I have done tea bag folding with children and they do that, which is nice and it looks fine. But I'm going to move that and tuck it just inside like that. And then do the next one and tuck it just inside. And tuck the next one just inside. And then you're going to end up, and that's actually my favourite one, with a really nice rosette that goes all the way around. I know you're going to want to say to me exactly how many squares do you need and all that kind of thing, and I want you to experiment with finding those out. So, retro crafting. It's back to the 1990s for the afternoon, which for me would mean having children. But not that. Let's just go with having some tea bag folding and making some brilliant little cards. Loads more ideas out there. I've just shown you 3. Have a go and I'll see you soon.